14-year-old girl from Odisha has shown a lot of promise to carve a niche for herself in an area mostly uncharted for most of the Odias. Meet the first opera singer from Odisha, Aastha Mohapatra, who was soared above the instrumental line and adapted to the dramatic demands of Western theatre shows. Aastha has so far received more than 50 awards by performing opera songs on various national and international platforms. They include the Special Mention Award in the International Art Song Festival organized by KMMC Chennai and the prestigious Trinity London in 2021. Aastha is also a member of the Lyric Ensemble of Delhi, a classical, jazz and Broadway ensemble, and she has been performing across the globe in different shows and recitals.
We have Aastha Mohapatra, the first opera singer of Odisha. Welcome Aastha to our show.
Thank you so much.
Actually, I hope many viewers don't know what is opera singing. Can you please explain in simple words to our viewers that what is actually opera singing?
In very simple terms, opera is basically drama and singing. So it's acting and singing put together. And as many of the people in Odisha might also know, opera is an art form which brings together singers and actors to present a story. So if I were to explain it in very simple words, it's essentially storytelling.
Okay, then why it's a Western opera that you have chosen? There are so many, song forms in Odisha, in India as well. So why did you choose it Western opera?
That's a very good question. And I think that I've been trying to find the reason as well as to why this art form has resonated with me. But when I spoke to a colleague recently who's a French Odissi dancer who's adopted this art form, art is not about language or like cultures or barriers or boundaries. Art enables us to break all of them. So this is essentially why I loved this art form. It allowed me to explore a culture and cultures which are not my own and bring my touch to them. So that is why I really loved this Western opera, as it is called, and I made it my base and expanded from there. Like a lot of kids learn Hindustani classical, so I learned Western classical.
So would you please sing a little bit of opera song?
Sure. That is no flute you play on, beloved. That is no bamboo your fingers caress. That is no reed that throbs with your music. It is my art.
Oh, it's really mellifluous. Aastha, actually, you have come a long way since you are six. I hope you started, pursuing this song, and you have come a long way, right now. So, can you please share your journey with our viewers in a nutshell?
Sure. In a nutshell, I did start singing when I was 6, but I started with Hindustani classical, and I moved to Delhi. And I've always had a musical upbringing. My mother, she is a sitarist herself, a singer, not professionally, but it gave me the right kind of background to start with. So Hindustani classical, my parents, first thing they do is put the child in those classes. But I took a liking to opera on my own. And when I was in Delhi, I was a part of the Mozart Children's Choir of India under the Austrian Embassy and Pandit Ravi Shankar Foundation. And they trained 20 to 30 kids in Western classical singing for free as a diplomatic initiative. And under that, I traveled around at the age of 9, singing on different stages across the country. And I just fell in love with singing. Then that led me to my teacher, late Seetu Singh Bueller, who polished my skill further, encouraged me to become a solo opera singer, a soloist. And since then, I've just trained in opera very thoroughly. That training has enabled me to sing across the country and across the globe now, across Europe, UK, France. And And yeah, it's just something that I keep very close to myself. Like in Odissi, we have a Guru Shishya tradition. The Guru Shishya tradition runs in the opera world as well. And I'm very grateful to my teacher for giving me her, guidance, because I carry it with me for life.
Okay, one more song. I think our viewers must be interested to listen from you.
Okay. Kuta Gaivi. What should I sing? So this one I'll sing. It's kind of like a jazz and opera mix, because I want to show the the range of songs that I can sing with my voice. And this is called Summertime. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your mom's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
Okay, Aastha, you have come a long way, and how is your response in the family? When you started, what was the response? And right now, you have come a long way. Some distance at least you have covered. And how is their response right now?
Well, I think that, my father, more than anything, he has just he listened to me singing. And we are at this point where my father can now point out where I'm not singing properly. So he's the one who's telling me that, oh, इत्ते भलो की है ही नहीं, फिर repeat कर ना, ये technique टा टिके भलो होनी. And he has never learned this art form. But I think my family has just been so supportive of me practicing this art form that now they're as engrossed as I am into this. So they have also, because they love me, they've loved the world that I've created for myself. And not just my family, my parents and my sister, but also my extended family, my grandmother, my aunts and uncles. They're all so supportive. They keep sharing my videos on WhatsApp. So basically, I think Odisha Rebi, the amount of people that I've been able to reach has been because of my family and all the people that have loved and supported me, which is why I would love to talk to you about this. I want more people in Odisha to know what I do.
Yeah, Aastha, what is the response of people in Odisha particularly?
Very interesting. That's a very interesting question, and I have a example from today. So today, along with the Center for Peace and Performing Arts, it's an organization that I'm a part of to create peace building through music. We were performing at KIT International School in Bhubaneswar, and this is the first time that I've interacted with young students in Bhubaneswar when it comes to opera singing, and the response was fabulous. I think these kids have come to me later and have asked me, how is it that you're an economist and a singer? Like, how does that work? Why did you choose this music? And some of them also asked me, how can we pursue this art form, right? So it was very lovely to interact with such enthusiastic kids, and I can definitely see the enthusiasm for something like opera more in Bhubaneswar and in Odisha in general. And I'm very happy to, anybody can reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to guide them. But definitely the response has been great, and it's just started. But I plan on doing more shows in Bhubaneswar and in Odisha, and also exploring this, segue between Odia culture and opera singing.
Yeah, that is very important aspect, and we'll talk about that. But Aastha, in any form of art, guru is very, very important. You have talked about your initial guru. Yeah. Then you must have also, got lessons from different gurus in course of your, sadhana. Yeah. Who are your other gurus, and from whom you have taken lessons?
Sure. So I would really attribute everything that I'm learning to late Seetu Singh Buller, because of whom I am who I am today.
She belongs to Punjab.
She's actually Delhiite. She's Sikh. But she's Delhi Sikh. I think she's originally from Punjab, but from Delhi mostly. But the other teachers that I have learnt with when I was in the UK, Professor Jennifer Hamilton at Trinity Laban has been a great mentor to me. When I was at Oxford, a lot of important people, like the choral director of Hartford College, who was guiding me when I was a Hartford choral choir at Oxford, she was very, keen on me pursuing this art form. I auditioned and performed in a lot of operas when I was in the UK. So my directors, all the people that I've worked with in the United Kingdom, they have always been very supportive of me, because it's very rare to come across a brown person or an Indian person, that too Odia. So it's very rare for an Indian to be doing this. So all of them have been very kind and very helpful. And I have a huge group of friends and colleagues based out of Delhi who have, they encourage me, and we all encourage each other after a teacher's demise earlier this February. So we have a big community of music lovers and artists and educators and music teachers, and they've all been very key in my journey so far.
So Aastha, you just talked about you want to familiarize opera song in India and particularly in Odisha.
Yeah.
So what are your plans?
I have a couple of projects coming up. This week, actually, we are trying to debut a unique project where we are trying to explore the intersections between Odyssey and opera. And this will be done in Calcutta, firstly, but I'm planning on bringing it to Bhubaneswar very soon as well. Earlier today, the workshop that I did at KIT, it was a French Odyssey dancer and an Odia opera singer singing in French. So more of those projects to come. I want to encourage more kids to come to these shows and talk to them, and basically encourage expression through this art form, because at the end of the day, opera is not about language, or it's mostly about interacting with each other beyond languages. It's about having good breath control, having good posture, and interacting with your audience, interacting with the people that you're working with. Because expressing yourself is very important, and I feel like that's a huge part of any artist's journey. So for me, the next plan of action is to do something in the Odia language.
So you mean the fusion of the amalgamation of Indian song, Odissi song with opera? Have you experimented it?
Well, I think this week is going to be very interesting, and we will be experimenting with it later this week. But I have worked with colleagues before, and we have tried to do a jugalbandi, and it's worked out very beautifully. I've also tried to with ghazals and with other Indian art forms and Desi culture, we've tried to blend it very beautifully, or to have a tabla player play while we sing. So I'm trying very slowly to incorporate all these fusion things in this art form. But yeah, I think it's looking very great. I think the response has been fabulous, especially when I was in the UK. I worked with a team of musicians as a part of Art Beyond Borders initiative, and we performed at a hall which Mozart had performed in. So it was built in the 1600s. And this group of people, they were Asian, Chinese, Indian, Indonesian. So we all came together as a group of Asian people who actually are students of Western classical singing and practitioners. And we brought our own touch to this. So for me, I sang the song that I'd sung first. It's called the Song of Radha. And it's Radha's tribute to Krishna. It's Radha's yearning for Krishna. So that is something that I premiered in the UK for the first time. And the response was fabulous, because it brings together my Hindustani classical techniques and my Western classical backing. So more of this to come.
Well, it is very interesting, Aastha, the way you talk about the fusion and amalgamation of Odissi classical song, Hindustani classical song along with opera song. It is very interesting. I hope it is in developing stage. We're experimenting on that. But our viewers will love to have a glimpse of your experiment.
Done. So, okay. So what I'll do
It's
is...
a beautiful group. It's training also. Our audience will love to listen from you, the fusion. Wonderful, wonderful. Aastha, would you please explain a little bit about this song?
So it's again a continuation of the song of Radha, but basically the way I sang it in the UK is very different. What I tried to do was I tried to bring together Hindustani classical elements and experimenting it on those elements and those scales and trying to tie it very deeply to Indian language, Indian culture, and especially singing in an Indian accent. And I really emphasize upon that when I'm singing abroad. Because mostly what we tend to do when we are singing in English is we tend to adopt a different accent. But I prefer when I'm singing Indian compositions, and this is by an Indian composer called Victor Paranjoti. So it's my ode to him, it's my ode to my country and to my culture, that I try my very best to incorporate all these beautiful elements that India stands for with this song.
Do you feel it an advantage to be an Odia? Because Odia, Odia people have a rich culture. So that you stand here in Odia culture and you are pursuing right now opera singing. So do you feel an advantage to be an Odia so that you can have fusion and amalgamation of Odia song into opera? And do you have any experimentation on that? Can you sing a little bit about that?
I won't say an advantage, but I do feel like it's very interesting to be somebody who's Odia. Because as my teacher said, the way we pronounce, the way Odias talk to each other, our language, we tend to pronounce very well. माने आपण नोटिस करिबे बाकी लैंग्वेजेस रे एमिति डिक्शन न थाए आमर डिक्शन जेम टाइप रा हम सब मसल्स यूज करछु but it can also be that English is a very inward language, like the diction is completely different, but Odia re jemti diction achi se diction ta mate bahut help kore actually Italian re gaya pai or Spanish re gaya pai,
like
for example this is something in Italian. Lascia ch'io pianga mia cruda sorte e che sospiri la libertà e che sospiri So आप notice करते हैं जब मैं Italian रे गाऊँ it's a lot of pronouncing and it's very similar to the way we speak in Odia. So I've always found it an advantage over people who are naturally Hindi speakers or English speakers to sing in Italian, let's say. So it's a very niche thing. I don't think a lot of people know about this, but my teacher always used to say that the way you speak has really impacted the way you sing, and it's helped you in a lot of ways.
So hereditary, your family loves singing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's in your heredity. So Odissi, Chando, Champu, Jonano, Chaupadi plus Western opera. Anything special from you?
Well, I feel like I'm still studying about it. And for me, the first step to fuse any cultures together is to read very deeply about, what are my roots actually made of. And itte basic history achi behind these art forms, itte cultural integration achi, that even as an academic, I feel like at this moment, I'm trying to look at various books, various authors, academics जो माने जिनसे ऊपर आगुरु काम करचंती. I'm talking to professors at the University of Oxford कि आमे किमती गोटे project develop कर पारिबा our surrounding. And the thing that's very beautiful and that's standing out to me so far in my research is that all of these art forms have one element in common, which is how to invoke people's emotions. And all of them have social backing, basically. Opera as an art form came out Italy because the common people, they want to see the society as it is. Mirror of the society is art. And the same thing happened in our part of the world. All these social issues, they will come up in these art forms. They will be the primary aim of these art forms. Communicating to the people is so important. So, ये जो link था, मैं बाहर करना चाहूँगी, and I want to study it further. But this is I'm currently working on it.
So Aastha, I have done a little bit of research on you. apart from singing, you're also a good student. You pursued your higher education from Oxford University, if I'm right.
That's correct.
How tough it was to make a balance between your study and music?
I think, first of all, I was 20 years old when I got into Oxford. I was the youngest or one of the youngest in my cohort. And definitely meeting people from all around the world, diplomats who have come to, pursue higher studies, people who are, extremely good at what they do, it was very intimidating. But I really think that music helped me connect to all of them. Because I was in a college which had people from over 75 countries. And I would sing a lot in the college. So people started recognizing me as this singer who sings in different languages, the opera singer from India. And actually, I would say that while balancing studies and music was very hard, I think it was so important because I would one day be writing my thesis. The next day, I would be performing a Russian opera or an Italian opera, and bringing all my friends together from different countries to come and participate and be a part of the audience and just enjoy that particular show. So my journey in Oxford has not just been khali patho padiva. Of course, I studied and I'm very thankful to the learning that I have had in economics because of Oxford. I'll probably carry it on in my career lifelong. But I'm so thankful that I got to sing in Oxford and sing in the United Kingdom. I think Moro experience that has been one of the highs of my career so far. It really opened up a new door for me. And singing in front of people who actually, they have seen this art form throughout their lives. It also felt very special because they would come and say to me that what you're doing is different. And we have not heard a voice like you before. So that makes my point true that no matter what the art form is, when people who are different from different countries come to pursue it, they bring something of their own to it, and like I have. So I'm very thankful to my education because for me, music and studying, they both go together.
Aastha, you sing in 4 languages. How do you manage it? I've also heard you are learning more languages.
That is correct. So I'm actually fluent in French and I've studied German. I speak Korea. I speak Hindi, English, and I've been trying to learn Italian. So for me, I think music and languages, the love for both of them go together. And each language has its own rhythm, its own way of, talking and own rhythm in the sense that when I'm singing, each language is so different when I sing it. So while I was trying to learn and these songs that are difficult and complicated in different languages, I did end up kind of, incorporating myself into those cultures. So for example, I was doing a Russian opera in 2023 and I have never sung in Russian before that. But just for my part, I was playing a prince in that particular opera in the UK. And for that particular role, I tried to, talk to more Russian friends and try to understand it through their lens. That how is it that you sing, how is it that you think, first of all, when you're speaking in Russian. And that really changed the entire way I sang or the way I presented my music. So for me, learning these songs and understanding these art like this so many different languages, it starts from the people behind. So it's a very important task for me to talk to them, understand them, learn from them. And that is why, so many different languages, it is difficult, but it just helps me see the world so much clearly.
So Aastha, I have read that apart from singing and your study, you also read a lot. So what are your other hobbies?
I love reading, that is very true. But I've recently, I don't know if it's a hobby, but I've picked up acting. And I worked in my very first movie, which has premiered in the UK last month. And it was a horror movie and I was playing a doctor in it. And I absolutely loved acting so much. So I think it's something else that I'm really looking forward to taking on. Apart from that, I also worked in a play in Delhi 2 years back approximately, and it was a musical, and I was working with the National School of Drama for that particular play. So definitely acting is something else that I'm really looking forward to doing in the future. Reading is one major hobby. I love playing the piano, and apart from my other hobbies, I would say that it's just something that I'm looking forward to doing in the future. I'm trying to explore the linkages between Odissi and opera. So I would love to put myself in an Odissi dancer's shoes. Although people have told me it's very late that you start Odissi at 23, but I've been told by my colleagues and my Odissi dancer friends that it's not entirely impossible. And especially when you're an artist, it's natural to explore different art forms. So I'm looking forward to studying Odissi a bit more and maybe starting Odissi classes very soon. But between economics and my job and singing and all of that, I rarely have time. So always looking for new hobbies, I would say.
Link between Odissi and Western opera. That seems very interesting. Aastha, you are doing so many things. You are pursuing so many things. Last but not the least, what is your aim? And what you would like to tell our viewers?
I think that's a question that a lot of people have asked me. That are you an economist? Are you a singer? What are you actually? And to them, I just say that I'm somebody who really aims to create an impact at a public policy level in my country. I do want to create an impact in my country through my work as an economist, work as a singer, a musician, and I think ultimately what I really want to do is serve the people of my country through my work, through my art form, and through my skills. So in the long run, I do see myself doing something for India.
Thank you so much, Aastha, the first Odia opera singer. I hope our viewers must have enjoyed the conversation up to the hilt, and we all look forward from Aastha to have an amalgamation between Odissi, Hindustani classic and opera singing in the future. We have Rasmi Pati, and she is the grandmother of Aastha Mohapatra, the first opera singer of Odisha. तो मैडम को आम पचारा मैडम आपण नातुणी गाँची ऑपेरा सिंगिंग गोटे वेस्टर्न ऑपेरा सिंगिंग आपण केमती मन करती केमती फील करती जे नातुणी गाँची ऑपेरा सिंगिंग वेस्टर्न गीत आपण चाहते गोटे प्राच्य गीत होते भल होता कि कौन आप मन आसे
मोर तो प्रथम एटा को एते एप्रिशिएट मु करू नथिली जे कौन ऑपेरा आमे ताकू विषय एते जानूने किंतु परे परे से जेतोले गायिकी बहुत ना कला माने इंडिया भितरे ओडिया इंडिया बाहर तेणु तार येटा को आमे फीलिंग कलु जे ना ये गोटे गीतर किछि गोटे महत्व अच्छी तापरे मोर जे ससुर
हाँ आप कहते जे आपण पूरा ब्लड रे पूरा संग अच्छी ना कि कौन टे आस्था सहित केमती ब्लड बोईकी आसला आस्था सहित जोड़ी है आमको टे कहे
मोर जे ससुर श्रीजुक्त नारायणपति विशिष्ट गणितज्ञ ओडिशार सी ऑपेरा गीत उपरे माने गीतिनाट्य उपरे बहुत तांकर रुचि थिला
गीतिनाट्य बोले वैष्णवपाणी गीतिनाट्य
हाँ
केमती कौन
जे वैष्णवपाणीकर सबू गीतिनाट्य गुड़ाक से सब बड़े माने मन मन भितर गुणगुण होके गाँती एवं से जो स्कूल टीचर थिले सेटारे सेठी से अभिनय पिलामानक द्वारा कराते
ओहो ताले वैष्णवपाणी गणनाट्य ऑपेरा बर्तमान आस्था गाउछंती वेस्टर्न ऑपेरा ना कि ताने गोटे पूरा वेस्ट रु माने प्राच्य रु पाश्चात्य आड़ को पूरा आपनकर जीवन धारा धाइची फैमिली भितर ना कि
खुशी हाँ तू तो बहुत ऑपेरा गीत गाउछु आ बहुत ना भी ताधरे कलुणी आम तो शुणुचु बहुत भी भल लगुच किंतु जेहेतु आम ओडिया आमर ओडिया गीत उपर टिके बेसी आग्रह रही तेणु तू मत गोटे ओडिया गीत आउ टिके बेसी खुशी लगे
हे फगुण तुमे गला परे परे अनेक जातन एठी अनेक जातन एठी लुहरे लिखुची कविता जीमु लुहरे लिखुची चिठी लुहरे लिखुची चिठी हे फगुण तुमे गला परे परे
बढ़िया लगिला खुशी से एमती खुशी दउथा समस्त है
हो I'm as helpless as a kitty up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way as 1,000 violins begin to play, or it might be the sound of your